What is up, everybody? My name is Nick Green.
And I am Cannon Gates.
And you're listening to Grounded in Greenville on WZMB 91.3 FM Greenville. And it is time for our Pirates Focus of the Week. So this is where we talk about all ECU news related to anything going around the ECU campus. So I'll go ahead and get us started right here with ECU. ECU is starting to offer more online learning opportunities as the number of student enrollments here are dropping. According to WITN, there are projected to be fewer graduating high school students through the year 2031, and that is what ECU is saying is the cause of our numbers dropping. So, Cannon, my question to you here is, do you think these online classes are going to help with our enrollments dropping?
Well, the main thing is to me, Nick, is because a lot of people can blame ECU for our numbers dropping, all this stuff. A lot of the reason is because these people who are graduating, they either go to college and, they go here, they go to, NC State, UNC, Charlotte, Western Carolina, anywhere in the state, Wilmington, wherever. Or their parents make them get their high school degree and they don't go anywhere. They go to community college.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, the ones who are dropping out, is because they just want to go ahead and go to work. They want to make money.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to blame ECU for enrollment numbers dropping. It's because there is, like it said, fewer graduating seniors.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen until 2031, I believe.
2031 is what the number said.
It's just because people don't want to go to college anymore. That's just how it happens to be. And I bet, I don't know exactly other school stats, but I bet we're not the only school with that
absolutely.
issue. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is here, it's a little different some other places because maybe a lot more out of state. There is a lot of out of state that comes here. But I'm just saying that a lot of out of state may go to a different school, and that some other schools, maybe their enrollment numbers aren't dropping for that reason. But I'm just saying there's no really reason to blame ECU for enrollment numbers dropping for the main simple fact of there's people who graduate high school, they just want to go make money.
Absolutely.
They want to retire at 50 and their back be broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I mean, this is something that I agree with you here. I definitely don't think ECU is the one to blame by any means necessary. I fully believe this is not an ECU problem. This is an everywhere. All universities are probably going to experience the same thing. And the biggest question I have is a college degree as valuable as it once was? I mean, when we grew up, our parents always taught us, they're like, hey, by the way, you need to go to college, you need to go get your degree. It's very important for you to go get a job in the future.
Very true.
But it's starting with the way the economy is right now. It's only putting more debt on college students, and they're not able to pay off those debts. It's taking them longer to pay off their debts, and it's taking them longer to make the money to pay off what they need to in order to be stable and have a stable income. So is a college degree as valuable as one it once was, or is the better route to straight out of high school just be like, you know what, I'm just going to go to work? Because I think a high school diploma is definitely valuable. I think you should stay in school to get that. But is a college degree as valuable as what it once was?
Now, I don't necessarily know if it's as valuable as it once was, but I do believe there's some circumstances that it is valuable, more
absolutely.
Valuable. Because me and Nick are both communication students.
Yep.
With what we want to do in the future, we couldn't do if we didn't have a college degree.
Right.
Or if we could, it would be a much harder path to get there.
It would be a tougher path, and we would need to have the experience right after high school.
And it would be hard to get that experience
without going to college.
You would have to maybe content creating, you maybe do that. But there's a lot of people who try to do that and it does not work out for them, and they don't get a job out of it, nothing like that. Now there is certain degrees here that you could go out of high school. Construction, I would say, is probably like a lot. I'd say construction if you're doing that. Now, if you're doing that out of high school, you're more into the field, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you have to wait a while until you make money, till you get a promotion, that type of thing. Now, of course, if you get a construction degree here, a 4-year one, then you're going to a different stage of construction immediately.
Yeah.
You're getting to a spot in construction at 23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
That someone who out of high school, they are getting to that spot maybe age 30.
Yeah.
And that takes them 12 years compared to your maybe 1.
Exactly. And another thing people are overlooking is trade school.
Exactly.
I mean, trade school is a very valuable option for people.
Exactly.
If you're wanting to go blue collar, go trade school, learn how to do that and do that. I mean, that'll make you a bunch of money, and you'll be just fine if you go to trade school.
And we need those people.
And those are very necessary people to have. You're going to make good money. We all need you around, and it's something that if college isn't for you, because college is not for everybody.
Exactly.
This is not for everybody. Me and Cannon, I mean, I can honestly say I believe I'm on the right path. I think you are on the same path as me. But at the same time, college is not for everybody, and it's one of those things that I know people are going to I know some of the older generations push people to go to college, and I think it's great to go to college. But I don't think college is for everybody. I think
No.
you can definitely find a route not going to college. And I think high school students are starting to realize this. And I think this is starting to become more of a normal thing. So I think colleges are going to start losing numbers all over the country.
We praise people in the trade schools because of how much they can do for our society and for our economy.
Yeah.
Because there are a bunch of people who don't want to do that. Like I'm going to say myself.
I don't want to do it.
I don't want to be a plumber. I don't want to be an electrician.
Oh, no.
But the thing is, those people make their own hours. They make a whole lot of money because there is a necessity for those people.
Exactly. You are always going to have clients.
Exactly.
You will always have people who are going to
You
need
can be
your
an
services.
average one of those and always get service.
You will always have service.
Exactly.
Just because of the fact that you're needed. You are
Exactly.
much needed in order for our society. I mean, even HVAC workers. I mean,
Exactly.
you are needed. I mean, it gets hot here in Greenville in
Exactly.
summertime. Your AC ain't working. Who you gonna call? I guarantee most of us don't know how to fix our AC units ourselves. I mean,
Exactly.
but yeah, that was my story of the week. Cannon, what you got for us this week?
Well, Nick, I wanted to talk about, of course, we all know 2024. It's election time.
is election
It's coming
year.
up. So we wanted to talk about today the nonpartisan initiative Pirates Vote is making sure the students of ECU are ready to vote for the North Carolina primary election on March 5th. Senior Assistant Director of the Center for Leadership and Civic Engagement, Alex Dennis, who's the head of Pirates Vote, said you can register to vote on the same day when early voting, and he encourages all students to do this because you cannot register to vote on the day of election. I feel like that's the main point here. You need to know you cannot register to vote on the day of the election.
Yeah.
You can do it on early voting. All you need is your one card as a voter ID that's required. You don't need a driver's license. You don't need that. You need your one card, and that's all you need.
Wow.
And the thing is, though, if you do live on campus, it is much easier because you're on campus when you're voting. It's the same address, stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you're off campus, you have to do a little bit more work, but it's still probably not going to take more than 5 minutes to go do
You
with
said
that
this is
process.
for the primary elections coming up
I believe
in March?
the primary election in March.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, I mean that's something that's awesome. We need more people to vote.
Yep.
And especially for the younger audiences here. I mean, most of us here in college, this will be probably our first time voting. ever.
Exactly.
I mean, unless we voted like last year for like some like smaller like city council stuff.
Yeah, I voted for that. That was like one of the first times I had voted.
Yeah, say unless you voted for stuff like that, this will probably be your first time voting, and to a scale of what most people do. I mean, every 4 years for the presidential candidate, everybody goes out and votes, as you should. I think it is a good thing to go do. If you are able to go vote, I do think you should go vote. I think it's go ahead and express your right. Go do it. Your right to vote. Go do it.
Yeah, and they will offer, I just wanted to point out especially this,
Yeah.
they'll offer voter registration drives at the Student Center, the main campus Student Center, through February 9th.
Okay.
So students choosing to do this don't have to provide a voter ID when voting in the primary election, instead as long as it's on their first time voting.
Okay.
So there is a little bit of a different circumstance there. But if you bring your voter ID with you to early voting,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Cast your vote.
Exactly. It'd be much easier, of course, because I think in our democracy, in our economy, that type of thing, just in everyday society, you should vote. I don't
Absolutely.
see why people don't vote personally.
Absolutely.
I can see why people don't want to involve themselves in politics. I completely get all that. But your vote is important. Everybody's voting is
You
important.
don't have to involve yourself in politics to go vote.
Exactly.
Just stay up to date on what you need to know. I think everybody needs to know a little bit about needs to know some politics. You don't have to go and talk about it all the time. I mean, I don't like to talk politics all the time.
I don't either.
I don't like talking politics. However, it's one of those things. Am I informed on it? Yes, I am.
And I like knowing some stuff.
I do like knowing what I'm talking about. And if I was to go vote, I'm an informed voter.
Exactly.
I would go vote for a candidate who I know I'm informed about who I'm voting for. And it's one of those things. I do think it's very important to go vote, even if you're not into politics. I think it's a good thing because if you're gonna, and I understand this might get a little bit. Not going to get a little hate for this, but I'm going to kind of speak the truth here a little bit. If you don't go vote and you are of age to go vote, I don't think you have a right to complain about whoever gets nominated, whoever gets elected.
Exactly right there, Nick.
I know a lot of people like to complain about who gets in office, and it's one of those things that you might not like whoever's in office. That's however you believe. But if you were of age to go vote, you had no reason not to go vote, and you did not go vote, I don't think you have a right to complain about it.
And I will give more slack to people that are older.
Oh, absolutely.
I think the people, but I think if you're in college, you should definitely go vote. It's one of your first times voting. It is a thing that is in our society, in our economy, in the Constitution that gives you the right to vote. So you need to at least vote a couple times.
I also give more slack to the older population to go vote, but it's typically the younger population is the one that doesn't go
exactly.
vote. So it's one of those, the people who really have no excuse to not to go vote, but typically have the strongest opinions are the ones who aren't voting.
Below the age 30.
Yeah, and it's
Not
like,
the thing.
why is this a thing?
Exactly.
Like, I feel like we need to get our voices heard, too, a little bit, because
Exactly
we
right,
are
Nick.
also a part of this society. But, yeah, that's also a great thing here for ECU students. If you want to go get involved with that, highly, highly recommend to go ahead and get your voter registration. Go vote. It's very, very important. All right, y'all. Up next, we got a few I cannot speak today. A few other messages, and then a song from Rare Animal called Glass Beach. Y'all check this out.